Hello guys, welcome back. Now very quickly, they say that a lot of will I say care workers has been threatened in the United Kingdom, that is UK, despite doing nothing, despite not committing any offense. They say that up to 60,000, if I'm not mistaken, care workers will be deported from the UK because of the letter that the Home Office have sent to all of them threatening to deport them. So if you are paying or buying COS, be careful, beware that they might sow or they might sell the fake one to you, and at the end of the day they will still deport these people. Now, despite getting all these COS from on an authentic source, that is to tell you how serious the UK is right now, despite getting all this information or the COS from authentic sources or companies, the UK is still threatening to deport them and also take serious legal actions against those companies. Now, let's quickly take a look at it. But before I do that, please, if this is your first time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also on TikTok. Don't forget to share so we can continue to move. Now, UK sent deportation letter and said no more COS, right? They sent these letters to these healthcare workers. Now, watch this video before we proceed.
The Guardian recently reported that thousands of migrant care workers who were described as innocent and abandoned had received orders to leave the UK. According to The Observer and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, employees whose sponsoring company had received sanctions were also subject to penalties. While immigration in the UK is being arrested, detained, and prepared for deportation, the UK government has began delivering letters of deportation to carers hired by care agencies, whose licenses had been suspended. Despite the fact that the Home Office had given these carers 60 days to find jobs with other businesses, they ultimately chose to send deportation letters to everyone who had found work elsewhere. In light of the fact that they will still be receiving deportation notices, why did the Home Office grant them a grace period of 60 days to locate other employment? This is a major problem since many carers who had previously found employment with other organizations believed they were saved. But that is no longer the case. We will therefore cover all the information you require in today's video.
All right. So you see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. They say thousands of migrant care workers have been threatened with deportation despite doing nothing wrong, after the Home Office took enforcement action against their employees. Now, these people are legally employed and they are paying their taxes to the government. But despite that, the UK Home Office is still threatening to deport all of them, 60,000 people. Now, in one case, a brother and a sister from India who paid a recruitment agency £18,000 to secure care jobs in the UK, only to find they have been scammed. We are told they must find another company to sponsor them in 60 days or leave the country. You see, £81,000. So people are paying a huge amount of money just to relocate to the UK. Okay, so when people pay, oh, I paid 10 million, some people will be asking, oh, 10 million naira. They will say, oh, where did you, when you have 10 million naira, why did you move to UK? Why do you want to move to UK? Can't you use that money to establish in Nigeria or do this or do that? People are paying £81,000 and they have also been scammed. But the good thing is that after paying the £81,000, they got to the UK. All right, but they were not offered the job. Now the country is threatening to deport and also ask them to find another job in just 2 months. Zainab, contractor, who is 22, and her brother Ismail, 25 years, had borrowed money from relatives to cover the cost of moving to the UK. You see that? But when they arrived, they said the accommodation they had been promised did not materialize and they were not given any shifts. You see, any shift. So that is the slavery workforce that they are giving them in that country. They say you must continue to work all round. You just rest a little. You continue to work like Jackie in UK. In April, they found out that the company that had sponsored their visas had been stripped of its license to recruit workers from abroad by the Home Office. But the enforcement action would also punish them. The siblings were sent a letter saying that because their sponsorship was linked to the sanctioned company, it was no longer valid. So right now that they are in the UK, they needed another company to sign the contract for them or get a COS for them. They have since applied to more than 300 employers between them in the hope of finding another company to sponsor them. But as is common, they have been unable to find any willing to take them. 300 companies has been sent a letter of application, but none wants to take them. Zainab, who moved from Maharashtra in India to build a better life for her 2-year-old son, said they now faced returning home with debt they had no prospect of being able to repay unless they can find another sponsor by June. We don't know how we will survive, she said. Ismail, who quit his job as an investment analyst to come to the UK, said, "It's not fair. We are being thrown out without being heard. Their case is not a one-off. An investigation by the Bureau of Investigative Journalism and the Observer has found that 3,081 care workers had their certificate of sponsorship cancelled by the Home Office in 2002 and 2022 and 2023. In 94% of cases, the reason for the cancellation was that the company that hired them had its right to sponsor workers revoked. So these companies were legal, they were legit, but the UK revoked all their licenses and everybody working under them now were also revoked automatically. Another care worker threatened with deportation described the experience as hell. The 32-year-old woman, Catherine, left her job as a teacher in Nigeria to become a care worker in the UK. She and her husband sold their land and car dealership business to cover the relocation costs. But she says she was not given the work she had been promised. The manager was not taking my calls, she said. We were frustrated and confused. K. Mayo, registered manager of S&K Care 24, admitted no care worker sponsored by the company had been given any work because it had not managed to secure a care provision contract with local authorities. So in case you are processing this or you want to go to the UK or you want to work there as a care worker, you know that's the work that is raining right now. Please be careful because a lot of deportation is going on. Do not fall for this scam. A lot of stories of this thing is going on. Even those who wants to go there and study, the UK doesn't even want to hear stories. They are just deporting from left, right, and centers. Whether you came to study in UK, they don't even want you again. So in case you are processing visa, please remove the UK from your choice of country as it is right now. You can choose other countries, maybe Sweden, Ghana, what do you call it? Other countries, Canada, Canada and all the rest of them. UK is not smiling at the moment. Please take note of that. As a result, and because the company was acting as a recruitment agency, the Home Office revoked his sponsor license. Catherine was sent 60 days later in March and now has until mid-May to find a new sponsor or lose her visa. My experience in this country has been from one hell to another, she said. The findings have prompted calls for reform of the tied visa system for care workers and demonstrate how workers are suffering for their employers' action, first exploited or given overblown promises and then threatened with deportation by the government. Aka Achi, the founder of the chief executive of Migrants at Work, which supports migrants on work visa, said Home Office was penalizing people who had followed the rules. They've been punished twice, he said. The Home Office said it had taken action to crack down on worker exploitation and abuse within the care sector and was working hard to support care workers into alternative jobs with their sponsor has had their licenses removed, who their sponsors have had their licenses removed. But when asked about what this support was, he did not provide details, saying only that the work was ongoing. So this is how it is, and the news went on and on and on and on concerning all these people who have been defrauded and left stranded in the United Kingdom. Do not, I repeat, do not fall for this scam. If you are being promised of a job and a COS, right now, these companies that are securing jobs or agents that have, I didn't say they are scammers, so they are legit, but the government is disarming them, taking away or revoking their licenses. So even if you get to the UK, you may just be deported immediately you are arriving. You may just be turned back and say, oh yeah, enter the next flight, and you'll be on your way home with debt, because a lot of people do sell all they have just to get these jobs and live a better life. But at the end of the day, it does not end well all the time. Let me know your opinion and share this video to keep people at alert. God bless you, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.